Holiday once again, everybody, and happy holidays. I'm Jason Salas, and I am joined by some very, very concerned, wonderful men that are part of the athletic community throughout the Pacific. And there is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for athletes to really take their games to the next level, but more importantly, to understand a cause that is very important here on the island. The Hope Football Camp is coming up, and Hope is actually an acronym that stands for Hold On, Pain Ends. Coach Jacob Dowdell, of course, our good friend with Game Time, is here. Coach Hafade, and thank you for putting on this camp with these amazing gentlemen. Coach Chad EK, of course, strength and conditioning. Brian McGill, someone who I have not had the pleasure of interviewing in person in quite a while. So, Brian, it's good to see you as always.
Right back at you.
All right, and then soon to be back on his very familiar territory, Coach John Diaz. So, Coach Hafade, once again.
Hey, half a day. Great to be with you guys.
All right. All right. So, Coach Dowdell, maybe just set the stage and everything. We know this is a camp to prepare athletes and to assess, to train, but also there's a very important message that we want to pass along to athletes participating.
Yeah, we are very fortunate that we are able to team with the good folks over at Game Time, Coach Brian McGill and his lovely wife, Miss Bernice, who have done a great job and making sure that we were able to pull this off. This has been a dream for many of us to get this type of quality coaching and exposure to the kids here on Guam to save them the financial burden of going off island to get good quality camps. Coach Chad EK and I have been doing camps here on Guam for ever since, as they say here on Guam. And this one is a special one because it's all honoring one of our fallen heroes, Dante Baines and his family. The message is hope, right? Dante was a player at Guam High who believed in that. And that big smile that he had resonates even to this very day. It seems like everything aligned for this to happen. And I think that's just Dante looking out for the people of Guam. And that message of hope, hold on, pain ends, is definitely something that he believed in, always fighting for the underdog. He was a kid who I cut his first time out, but he didn't give up. And so, even when we were playing the teams around the island, it was still, that big smile and sportsmanship and things like that. So I think that's a perfect backdrop to this camp as we go forward with Game Time and Yak and all the folks involved to help our kids here in Guam have a brighter future.
Now, Brian, of course, you putting on this event, who is the target audience for this? Because I know there's going to be a lot of Guam's, elite athletes that want to come out and they want to say, I want to stay in tip-top shape, or I want to make sure that, I can be the very best that I can be. But can also, young athletes who are just discovering the game and saying, I was lucky enough to be like maybe come off the bench last year, but I want to make sure I can, become a starter, and I want to get a shot at perhaps playing college ball. Can they participate as well?
Yeah, the main target is wasn't really for the stars, but this is for these are for the kids that one have want an opportunity either to play this next season, whether they're playing here on Guam and really just stronger if they need to be stronger. I'm I'm grateful for all the elite athletes. We appreciate all of them, but they always get all the notoriety. And, some of these other guys, they don't get that notoriety. So this may be an opportunity for them to come out, showcase what they can do, get better, and then maybe step in where those elite guys are right now, especially if they're not able to come to the camp.
Outstanding, because that was me like maybe like 30 years ago, because I rode the bench for like a real long time, but it was the guys who were starters who actually came back as counselors and then said, somebody passed down knowledge and wisdom to me, so I want to pass that down to you, and then I want you to pass down that to somebody else. And of course, Coach Chad EK is here, and no one knows about about the power of strength, not only physically but mentally and in your heart when you are an athlete. So Coach Chad, what are the lessons that you're going to pass to these athletes?
Well, the big part is really, the community involvement, right? The whole saying, it takes a village, to raise a child. And, we want to kind of exude that mindset to the community. And it all starts with the parents, and the families and the guardians of the young individual, because it takes a lot of sacrifice and commitment and consistency on the parents' part to allow their child to have the potential or even the dream of being at a next level in any sport that they desire, because these young kids can't do it on their own when they're at that certain age, and eventually they'll discover it and they'll continue it, but it starts at home. So we want to be able to share the message with a lot of the families back home that, hey, you know what, just because you're 7,000 miles or whatever it is from the stateside, that your child can potentially get an education, and at the same time play a sport that he or she loves. So we want to really focus on that, and we want to really encourage the families to come out so they can hear the words, and then their children can see them, in the stands and supporting them, and encouraging them, to chase their dreams. So that's the big part of my end is, having kids of our own, and watching them grow and encouraging them and pushing them and holding them accountable. It starts with us. So that's the main point for us to make.
Very, very true. Now it should be heavily emphasized though that of course, if you want to learn, you learn from the best, and that's why we have, you four gentlemen here. But Coach Chad, of course, there is a lot of physical conditioning that needs to happen, and you need to develop these muscle groups, and you need to, maintain the system that is your body. So what message on that level do you want to pass along to these kids about diet, about nutrition, getting proper rest, and really making sure that your body can be in the form to play at the level that you would hopefully aspire to?
Oh yeah, I mean, the first day is really an evaluation for us to see what kind of athletes are currently where they're at their standpoint, kind of get a margin, a starting point, and then teach them and educate them on, hey, okay, this is day one. You're not going to make it to college football just off of one day, or soccer or whatever sport, just off of one workout. But once they get an understanding and they have a baseline, they can understand now you can only go up unless you digress tremendously. If you put in a little bit of work, you'll make progress. You put in a lot of work, you make a lot quicker progress, and you put in a lot of consistent work, you attain your goals. So the first day is just kind of doing typical combine testing, running, see how fast they are running the 40-yard dash, the shuttle, the L drill, seeing how high they jump on the vertical jump, how far they can jump in the broad jump, and that'll give us some baseline standards. And then through the years to come, we'll be able to see the evolution of each athlete and see how hard they really worked, and see which families, like I said, held them accountable. And then we're able to share them, a little bit of some basic guidelines on what they can do, and it's kind of, we can't basically display, a whole, 4-year plan, obviously, because things change, but at least get them introduced to the system and what they need to do, and then answer any questions that, any of the athletes or the families might have. But that's the main goal for us, is really get a baseline, encourage them to see where they're starting, and then every year we'll come back and say, hey, if you ran a 4.9 40-yard dash, we like to at least see you run a 4.8 or better the next time around. So they have some goals there, and they have some standards that they have to attain. So that's kind of the word for us is going back there is, let's get our baseline, and then let's see what's going to happen in the coming years.
Of course, and the continuous improvement, and that's a perfect segue to Coach John Diaz, because Coach, last time I talked to you, in this format, you were saying that there is the assessment, and you want to hold young people accountable and give them the mindset and the knowledge that you can push yourself probably farther than and achieve more that you think that you're capable of. So from your perspective, Coach, where do you come in saying teaching young athletes how to be a good teammate and buy into a system, and realize that there is no I in team, and you're part of a much larger machine, if you will, and you're trying to achieve a collective goal?
Well, I think one of the big things is trying to teach young people how to trust the process. There's a process in everything in life that you go through, and if you can see that there's the standard basics where we all come together for one common goal, and then you're going to come together with all different types of personalities, all different types of mentalities, etc. But understanding where are we trying to go as a whole, and giving them tools to be able to get there, and then challenging them daily to assess, to reach those things, and correcting those things that they don't do right, and encouraging them to be better, to be their best version daily. I think that one of the biggest things I found this year in coaching, for us to get to the place we are and go to a bowl game, is we had to change the culture, and culture comes with time. At the beginning of the season, we probably wouldn't have figured out that but we knew that if they kept practicing, keep working, keep believing in one another and what the process is all about, we can achieve our goal, which was for us to go to a bowl game, to strive to win the championship. And seeing it up close and personal, I'm excited to share with the young people about what we were able to find and what we're looking for now in order to continue that process to build championship level type players as well as championship people in life.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's go back to Coach Dowdell now. The camp is free, which is probably the most amazing thing. But of course, we hope that we would have like room enough for all athletes and everything. But unfortunately, space is limited. So how can athletes and their parents where can they go for more information and to register?
Well, the great part about this, man, is that it is free, and we will do day of sign-ups, and so you can register online. Hopefully, you'll have the links, and you can put the links up for this, and we'll send the flyers that the folks at Game Time put together for us, and they are beautiful flyers, and then it's a fitting tribute to what we're doing and the purpose. But if they want to come on the day of, the gates will be open. We've confirmed that the gates will be open. They don't need an ID card or any of that stuff to get in. We want to try to get in as many young folks as we can to get this opportunity, right? This is not an everyday occurrence. And so the gates will be open at Guam High, the access gate. Get in and get yourself in there and get yourselves registered. Try to get there 30 minutes prior to your young person in that particular time slot. And those time slots are on the flyer, and then make sure you're there to pick them up. We don't want to be holding people well after the end time for the event. So it's a great opportunity for us to have Coach Diaz on the island for the first time, along with Coach EK and the folks at Game Time. And of course, with the support of KUAM, we're just grateful for this coming together.
Oh, thank you. The honor is truly ours. And I'd like to give Brian McGill the final word, as the person who I know your life's work and your passion is giving young athletes these kind of opportunities. So just give everybody like watching one final push and everything. What should they have for breakfast before they make it over to camp?
don't go getting a bunch of slime stuff. You want to make sure you have plenty of fruits, vegetables, a good healthy breakfast in the morning. Have a nice lunch. But come most importantly with an attitude of gratitude and an attitude ready to compete every step of the way. That's the main thing. We are going to be giving out some awards for those athletes who are exceed expectations or even just get better day by day. So man, we want them to sign up. If they don't have the web link, www.gametimeguam.com. That's where you can register for the camp there, or you can, like as Coach Dowdell said, you can register online. You don't want to miss. We have two of the most elite coaches in the nation coming to Guam, and you don't want to miss them. You want to show up for them.
Like I said, you want to learn from the best. So Coach Chatty K, Coach John Diaz, Brian McGill, and Jacob Dowdell. Thank you, gentlemen, for making this opportunity available for young athletes and young people. Make sure that you register for this. You're going to learn a lot. Trust me. So, gentlemen, happy holidays to all of you and your teams and your families.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you guys soon on the field.
All right.